Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
It's Friday the 13th, you bastard.
Night after night, for weeks, this menacing sight in the skies above the Northeast. But this morning, the White House, FBI, and Homeland Security downplaying any potential threat to public safety or national security.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
The Biden administration saying it has no evidence that these aircraft were sent by a foreign adversary. But that hasn't quelled concerns from some New Jersey officials.
I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, and you can count him with me all night.
That frustration echoed by members of Congress on both sides of the aisle.
They should be shot down if necessary. The lack of information is absolutely unacceptable.
In a strongly worded letter to the FBI, DHS, and FAA, senators from New York and New Jersey expressing urgent concern. Drone experts suggest the concern may not be one for national security, but rather for privacy.
I question the rights of someone to fly over populated areas with cameras trained on the people below them. Am I worried in the sense of national security? Based on what I've heard, the answer is no.
And there's still no clarity on where these aircraft are coming from. An expert we spoke to said that the fact that these aircraft have flown freely near sensitive areas may indicate that they are not foreign and that the military is aware of them. The White House says it will continue to investigate.
Ooh. All right, so I know what it is. It's Santa or Amazon. I don't know. Don't they use drones, Amazon? If you have some packages that weren't delivered, I'm guessing they're on the drones is what it... Oh, my God. This is so crazy. And you know why they don't fly drones over Florida like this? You know why? Because we would shoot them. That's why. That's right. Brett knows. We all know. I mean, Jersey, what are you doing over there? Jersey. Come on, Jersey boys. What the freak are you doing? You got these things that are turning their lights on and off, and you got the Coast Guard said that they're being swarmed by 50 of them at one time. You got two representatives from the House of Representatives from New Jersey saying that it's an Iranian mothership that is off the coast of the east of America, and it's hovering there. And the mothership is, spewing out these, very large, SUV-sized drones, and nobody's shooting at them. And everybody is saying, "Oh, shoot them down!" Even that was Richard Blumenthal over there. It was like a venerate senator, somebody who commands respect. And he's saying, shoot the damn thing. Come on, send some Florida guys. Send some Florida man up there. Send Gates. He's got nothing to do. I mean, I don't know what it is. So what if it is just a good old-fashioned alien invasion? What if it is? What if it's a Will Smith situation? What if it is a Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith, cigar smoking situation? What if that is the case? What if it is a few anal probes in Jersey and they're done? I mean, I don't know. This is very creepy, though, I have to say. And a lot of guys, especially, the one that I live with is like, it's an alien invasion. It just is. That's what's going on there. And I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. And I was like, did it ever dawn on you that this could be, Santa? NORAD, the Northern Command, NORAD, actually tracks Santa. Why don't you just call? Oh, they did. They called him. So then call Amazon. Call Bezos. Ask him if that's him, if he's doing it. This is it's very bizarre, I have to say. It's really the strangest thing. And federal sources, seriously, are saying that there is no known or credible threat. Well, there definitely isn't anything known if you don't ask. There's no threat if you don't know. I mean, what's Marjorie Taylor Greene going to wear to the inaugural now? Last time, we had a balloon. She dressed up like one. What is she going to, a January 6er? What is she going to do? Dress up like a drone now? I mean, she's going to have a red light and a green light on her right arm and her left arm. I don't know. I just, but, we don't have any solid information. And I find that unsolid. I find that, questionable. I find that, like loosey-goosey. I don't think that that's the position that the American government ought to take. I just think that not answering people's questions is making everyone cray-cray. And, we have to get used to maybe this is it. Maybe this is the entry level. Maybe this is, what we do now as we transition is we don't answer anybody's questions. We just let everybody's mind wander into alien invasion, Iranian mothership. Just let them, space on it and just go crazy. I don't know.
These UFO hearings and now the increase,
right?
The increase in sightings, all of this credible stuff. The American public is thoroughly unimpressed. Nobody seems to care that we may be being visited, watched, whatever. Like we just all are just, nah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I will say, they're saying that these are not, hobbyists. Like my neighbor, who I loved, he's since passed. Rest in peace, David. I just love David. David used to fly drones. He was a pilot, and he used to love his drones. And this is back in the day when they were just new, and hobbyists had them only, and they were not as maneuverable. And I mean, from my understanding, just watching him play with drones. Now, like I said, this is a throwback to yesteryear, like 4 years ago, because he's gone now. But from my recollection of what the drone that a hobbyist has can do is that it can stay up there for about 40 minutes, if you're very, very lucky, 30 to 45 minutes. And it can only go a mile and a half, and that was a really, really expensive drone. So these have been, in the air for like hours upon hours and hours. Now, I would just say one of the first things I would ask for Jersey to do, like Governor Phil Murphy, who is the governor of New Jersey, I would say, why don't you just ban flying a drone during the evening hours? Because nobody is seeing them during the day. Nobody sees them during daylight hours. It seems to be something that's only going on at night. It is spreading from the New Jersey area into Virginia. I think I heard one sighting was in California, but one isn't going to make me, do anything. It's not going to make me included in, these multiple sightings of multiple drones that are 6 feet wide and are staying up in the air for 6 or 7 hours. I mean, that's kind of commercial grade stuff, right? I mean, that just isn't. And, listen, my old Air Force base is now part of the Army. Maybe that's the mistake they made. And it was, it was McGuire Air Force Base, and now it's like a super base. It's Fort Dix. Sorry. Yeah, it's Fort Dix, named after apparently guys who, you would go to for drone information, Fort Dix. They don't want to tell you anything, and it's right there. Also, Quantico, Virginia is saying that they saw drones. Listen, Donald Trump, his Bedminster property is there. It's in that area. And so they're all like making us crazy with all this information with no information about what it could be. What are these drones? What are they? Right? They're denying that this is the government. They're denying. So maybe it's like, I don't know, a government contractor. Well, how is that possible? That they don't cooperate, that they don't tell the military, that they... And that is again, I don't want to rehash some of the old phraseology that we had become accustomed to after the cool Tuesday morning on September 11th, 2001. But that is some of the most secure airspace we have in the United States. Okay, that is New York, New Jersey. It is, military bases. It is massive air traffic. And I don't know, they don't want to shut down drone operators during the evening hours? Who's paying for that? Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody has to know something, no? Okay, it's Santa.
Clear. A things Randy at RandyRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
Do not watch Fox News. Do not watch Fox News. If you watch Fox News, this is the explanation you got from from a duly elected member of the House of Representatives.
We have objects in the sky that are the size of an SUV over any city, over any state. It's an invasion of our airspace. In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones. It's everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down, whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be. They should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
You can't shoot Santa, Jeff. Congressman Jeff Van Drew. He wants to shoot Prancer and Dancer and Vixen and Blitzen and Rudolph. He wants to shoot them down. He wants to shoot down Santa or Amazon or Jeff Bezos or Blue Origin or Elon Musk or Starlink. I have no idea what this is. Okay, I don't know. But he's like, I know people. I know people over here is what it is. So what is this? It's like a weird combi package. It's like Star Wars meets Sopranos. Ooh. Woke up this morning, got yourself a gun. Your mother said you'd be the chosen one. You're 1 in a million, you got to burn to shine. I mean, what NORAD, Northcom, Canada, which is up there with NORAD, Northcom actually is, partnership between us and Canada. They don't see the Iranian mothership. They don't see it. Now, like I said, shoot it down. I mean, if it's Santa, you're going to be really on the naughty list. I mean, like, seriously, you're getting coal in your stocking for the next 200 years. And your sons. Yeah, sins of the father. You shoot Santa. I'm telling you right now.
I'm confused why he's in New Jersey anyway. There's no nice people in New Jersey. Everybody there's on the naughty list. What would he be doing there?
Oh, come on. Everyone I ever married was from New Jersey.
Do you run that game somewhere else?
I only marry people from New Jersey. That's all I ever do. That's all I ever do. And there is one that I would have married, but he just got married to somebody else. So, that was going to be my third husband. Oh, by the way, today's my anniversary. You want to know something weird? So, today is my anniversary with Howard, and we don't know how long we've been together. Isn't that something? we both have different answers to that question. He says we're together 17 years. I say 16 years, but it only feels like 17 years because he's with me. So I'm giving him that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but it's also Taylor Swift's birthday today and Friday the 13th. Now, as long as Biden's the president, today will be Taylor Swift's birthday. But if it's ever, when we transition in the next 39 days of, it rained for 39, 40 days and 49. When we transition, Friday the 13th will be known as overkill, especially when there's a mothership hanging off the coast of the United States and unbeknownst to McGuire Air Force Base, which is, freaking right there in Wrightsville, New Jersey. I mean, that's my old base. I was, and now it's a super base. It's a combi base. It's a base of, Army and Air Force together on the one giant base in New Jersey. I don't know why they can't, figure out what this is. And it's driving me insane because everybody's got, their own little theory now. Everybody's, sort of opining about what it could be, especially, the New Jersey House members, Cory Booker and Blumenthal are both like, shoot it down. Just shoot it down. And I'm like, I'm convinced it's Santa. I'm convinced it is. Or Amazon. I don't know. They both deliver. They both have, extraordinary logistics. Just amazing. Santa does not put in your email, though, your package has been delivered. And Santa doesn't take a photograph of your delivery in front of your door, which is why we all had to go out and get, nice doormats, because you knew that it was going to be on the internet, your front freaking door with all your packages. And of course, when Trump becomes president, the tariffs, on all the stuff that's sitting on your front porch, that's it's going to end that gravy train. It's going to end all those packages, because we won't be able to afford. That's right. We won't be able to afford the foot scrubber. We won't be able to afford any of it anymore because 60% tariffs. He's about to betray, everybody. What's really amazing is, we'll get to say, I told you so, which is about all we'll get out of this administration is I told you so. You remember what happened with the tariffs that he had last time? The tariffs that he had last time actually were tariffs that were the Chinese tariffs. The Chinese government, which is a communist government, it's one guy, which Donald Trump cannot figure out. Okay. He just can't figure out that regimes have more than one person in them. And so he thinks Xi has some sort of secret sauce where he controls 1 billion people with an iron fist, right? It's called surveillance is what it is. But okay, maybe this is the beginning of that. I don't know. But anyway, he put these tariffs on China, and China, of course, retaliated. And so they stopped taking our soybeans and our pork products, even though China loves pork almost as much as I do, which is a sin, trichinosis being what it is in my religion. But anyway, I love pork. So they retaliated, and we lost 70% of our exports. Farmers in this here country, rural communities, one of the 3,100 counties in this country that is rural, like in Iowa, they lost their whole export market. So Trump had to cut them a check, $660 billion. You remember that? He had to pay those farmers because their export markets were destroyed.
Call in, connect. To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
Yeah, that number will get you me. The other number you need to know today is 877-378-8669. Why is that? Because that's the number in Denver, Colorado for the wonderful people that are slaving away at Free Speech TV. They do it each and every day. They show up for work at this not-for-profit, this little underdog TV station, this little, I know I can little engine of information that we are. And they make sure that your shows get disseminated to the places that you like them to be, like Apple TV and Sling and Roku and DirecTV and Dish Network and every single thing except for cable. People are like, what do you mean you're not on cable? No, we're not on cable. Okay. So, today is the last day of the winter Free Speech TV Pledge Drive. And we're going to end it big. Big, baby. Bigger than you. Bigger than me. Bigger than the two of us. We're going to end it with a double match day. What does that mean? That means whatever you can say you're donating today. If you say, I'm going to donate $10, 2 frontline funders will also donate each $10. So your $10 from that first frontline funder becomes 20. And from the second frontline funder becomes 30. So 10 becomes 30. You understand? 30 becomes 30 from the first, 30 from you, 60, and 30 from a set. $90 over here. It's a double match day, and it's the best day that we have to make your money go the furthest that it can go. And we ask that you do it today. And don't wait, because this is it. This is it. It's the last day. So call now. 877-378-8669, as we keep telling you. You can always do it at freespeech.org. That's the easiest thing to do if you're sitting in front of a computer now watching me there, because, we stream there too. Or you can text, pick up your phone and text FSTV to 44321, 44321. And thank you very much. We're very, 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 very close to the, promised land. I'm going to say we're within $20,000 of where we need to be, which is great. It's the good spot, sweet spot for the last day. So thank you to our frontline funders, Jerry in Oakland, California, Jerry in Chandler, Arizona, Joe in Washington, D.C., Mac and Tiana in Cowdrey, Colorado, Mike in Tippecanoe County, Indiana. I just like saying Tippecanoe, Indiana. Nastasia in Los Angeles, Sheila in Grinnell, Iowa, Suzanne in Catlett, Virginia, and others. Like yesterday, Andrew in Bonsall, California, who made a match day come out of nowhere by putting a $10,000 check on the table. So thank you very much. Please do it. And remember, it's for a very, very worthy cause. Information, the coin of the realm. All right, so I was watching, Chris Smith, who's also a Republican from New Jersey, and he's saying that he was at the beach because, hey, we have drones. Let's go to the beach. Of course, that's what you do. But he went to the Jersey Shore. He went to the beach, and he said he saw 50 drones, 50 of them. There are experts who have weighed in on this, who are experts in drone technology. There are experts in Iranian drone technology, experts in American drone tech. And they're saying that if these are something called swarm drones, then that makes it, something of a different nature. I have no idea. But if you're seeing 50 of them all at once, and the creepy thing about them, for me, is that whenever they put up a helicopter, or whenever they, the Coast Guard follows them from the beach, well, I'll let Chris Smith tell you what they saw. And they say that they turn the lights off and that they maneuver into the darkness and they can avoid detection. Listen, if that's a defense contractor that's doing that, you better freaking tell somebody, or Pete Hegseth is going to be your new Secretary of Defense. And he's going to screw it all up so you can do all this. I mean, really.
So last night I was on the beach in Island State Park in Ocean County with the sheriff. He has been working it every single night. He's got his own tethered drones chronicling. One of his officers 2 nights ago saw 50 drones come in off the ocean right there.
Oh, my God.
So we thought maybe they'll replicate it. They didn't, but we thought it was a possibility. Last night, we had a number of other people there, including a commanding officer from the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water, followed right behind them. And I said, what's the rules of engagement? I mean, you do it if you're fighting against a narco trafficker or something. And they said, we don't know. We don't have any. So I did reach out to the commanding officer at the Joint Base, which is also in my district, and talked to him, had a very good conversation, Colonel Anthony Smith, Joint Base Fort Dix McGuire, the 87th Air Wing, Air Base Wing today.
Hello.
And I said, I know you have the capability, you've put out press releases, to identify and bring down drones. Why can't you deploy them, at least to the ocean? Bring one of these down, find out who's doing it. They have the capability. They said we don't have the authority, only within the parameters of our base. Well, there's a national interest here. Our jets fly over the ocean all the time for trading, so that perimeter is larger. So I did write Secretary Lloyd Austin asking that capability that may be sitting in a closet somewhere. I know they use it all the time.
In a closet.
But, bring it out. And I'm not saying you got to share it with the sheriffs. It'd be nice. Just do it yourself in the interest of the American public. So I would ask if you would echo that request. I mean, DOD's got the capability, and maybe Homeland Security does as well. When we had a Zoom meeting with Secretary Mayorkas, our governor put it together, and I appreciated that. But I asked them, why can't we just track where they go to? Seemingly, they're going out to sea, to something, a ship. We don't know for sure, but they come in off from the ocean. So the question really is, can't we just get DOD to share? In my first term, DOD and VA did a great thing. The DOD-VA sharing agreement for healthcare capabilities. It was fantastic. Why can't the DOD share this with Homeland Security, with FBI and others, so that you can go out and find out who they are?
Well, we made a combi deal for the Joint Air Base, McGuire and Fort Dix. We made a combi deal for healthcare and the government. Why can't we share our missiles? Why can't we share our ammunition? You start to find out stuff when you feel threatened, right? You start to look into things like, where is the Department of Homeland Security, and what? They don't have the authorization to shoot down drones. Okay, so where is the air wing that is McGuire Air Force Base? Where are you, Colonel Smith? What? We can't do that. We're not allowed. We could only shoot down things over McGuire and Fort Dix. We're not allowed to go out and do it. Okay, well, what about the Coast Guard? They patrol the air. What about narco terror? No, we can't. So you know what we need? This is why I like a Jersey guy, okay? They figure crap out, okay? Not just when the water heater doesn't heat the water, they can figure it out. Like with a toothpick and a pair of pliers. No, he's saying just go out there, somebody, and just shoot one down. Let's see what we got. Just anybody. Of course.
This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
Alrighty, everybody. 47 after. Wendell in Pennsylvania. Hello. Happy Friday.
Oh, happy Friday to you. Thank you. About the healthcare situation, they want to get rid of Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security and stuff.
Well, Medicaid will go first. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyhow, if they want to do this stuff, they want to get Social Security. Who knows when they'll do that? They'll do that eventually. Why don't we take their pensions and their Medicare that we pay for? They don't have to pay anything when they go in for a doctor. And then, they don't want to. We should just take that from them and put them on regular Medicare, and then have them use that instead of what they have, their gold-plated plan that they probably stole and put in there. And that's what I'm saying. I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Well, I mean, it's not a zero-sum game, so I understand what you're saying. Like, they get free health care, meaning representative senators. They do. They get top of the line. I think it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. They get the best health care that for free as a little hat tip to their service to the nation, which includes, 500 days off every single year,
Yeah, $150,000 they make a year. Most people do, average people.
I think they're up to 164 now. I could be wrong, but I think they're up there now. But yeah, I mean, if we had a vote, other than the one that puts them there, if we had to weigh in on their performance, mid-performance, that would be good, but we don't. So we don't get to vote them.
I'm just saying that we should put it out there on there and just, you tell the company, well, you know what, they want to get rid of this, then why don't we get rid of their health care we pay for? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying to let people know, because I don't hear anybody talking about that.
Well, I think that's a gimme. I think people do know that they're, especially at this level of, news.
Not really. I asked the people, they didn't even know that we did that. I've asked half the other people.
Do they listen to the same stuff you do? Is their media diet as healthy as yours?
No, I mean, I don't think a lot of them had much common sense either.
Right, and so for us to sit here talking to each other about something that is a known, as D.A. Trumpsfeld might, say in his poetry, it's kind of silly. I mean, I think everybody that's at this level of, political diet understands that they get their health care for free. And
but I just want to make sure that it's put out there where people can hear it, because I don't hear much. I hear them talking about everything else, but I don't hear them talking about that specifically, which I think would be good, just to throw a 2-minute thing out there and see where it goes,
Well, I would love to see Medicare for all. I mean, or even a public option to begin. Okay, that would be a great thing. But we're going in the opposite direction from that. So, I mean, the people who voted for him, not necessarily you and I, Wendell, but the people who voted for him, they're about to get it's like a F around and find out thing. They're about to have that happen to them.
They're already crying and screaming.
There should be, because, I mean, they're going to go after Medicaid, which is for the poorest folks. They're going to go after the ACA, which funds basically their rural hospitals that are going to just up and go away.
There's some states out there down south that only got 2 or 3 hospitals in a whole state.
Yeah, and they're going to become even rarer than the avocado in this
So what are
here
they going to do,
country.
drive to New York City and go to get health care? I doubt it.
No, but I think people are going to get irate, and I guess the message to the insurance executives is something along the lines of, if our children can get used to live shooter drills at school, maybe you need to also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, I don't know what else to say, because there's not everything that we do to make healthcare more affordable. They find a way. They find a way to game this. And until and unless there's a public option and people leave the private insurance market knowing they can go into Medicare for all, and it's an option. Like, I'm not saying we mandate it. Although, if you mandated it, every single doctor in this country would be in that plan. You wouldn't even have to wonder anymore whether or not you could see this doctor or that doctor, or your friend had a very good experience with this allergist, or your friend had a wonderful experience with this, orthopedist that does nothing but shoulders, or this one that does nothing but hips, and this one that does nothing but knees. And, you wouldn't even have to ask. You wouldn't even have to wonder. They wouldn't even ask you, what health insurance do you take? It's interesting. Michael Moore has a really, really good thing on Substack today. It's Michael Moore's healthcare manifesto. And it's great. I mean, he did that movie Sicko, which I totally blanked on. Okay, I forgot. Shooting for Columbine, because he got sick and tired of people, 500,000 Americans getting shot every single year, either, through accidental shootings, or, their kids playing with their, or suicides or whatever. And then he did this movie Sicko about healthcare and how ridiculous our system is in an industrialized country. We're the only one that does it this way. The only one, and that's because there's a lot of grift and graft in our system. We have Citizens United. Corporations are people, my friend. Yeah, well, then send them for a colonoscopy and let them pay out of pocket. Tell them it's not covered. So anyway, everybody understands that there is a gigunda problem in this country with healthcare delivery, not with healthcare. Healthcare in this country is top notch if you could afford it. But the delivery system, it's like Santa. Either you believe or you don't believe. And if you don't believe, it's probably easier when you get nothing, when you get your coal in your stocking. But, yeah, I mean, our delivery system is, it's horrible. It's bad. And, so he wrote, anyway, the point of what I was saying is he wrote this manifesto, and one of the little factoids in there that is so delicious, and I think it's more important than pointing out that, yes, our senators and our House members get free health care as a benefit in their salaries, okay? It's a benefit that they get once they're sworn in. They get, I think it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it's top shelf, top of the line. It's not Blue Cross Blue Shield Select, which is a narrow group. It's a narrow bunch of doctors. They get the top one. They get the options. Blue Cross Blue Shield options, I guess it is. Anyway, I think the more important thing to know is that As Michael Moore points out today in his manifesto, there are 1.4 million people who work in healthcare just to deny claims. And there's only 1 million doctors in this country. Now, that is stunning and shocking, okay? That there's 1.4 million insurance claims adjusters, basically, okay? I don't know what else to call them, who are looking at whether or not your mammogram is, a diagnostic or preventative. And the coding on those two things is different. So if you're a preventative, maybe it's covered because the ACA made certain preventative things covered, right? But if it's diagnostic, maybe it's not covered. And there's 1,400,000 people, adjusters, working right now in their orifices, deciding whether yours gets tended to. And there's only 1 million doctors. Now, that should tell you just about everything you need to know about insurance and the industry of health insurance. And so when you look at Luigi and you understand that, Luigi Mangione was like sickened by, as he was coming into, the real world and having some medical issues, especially on his spine. I mean, if that x-ray is him, that's you can see where he was in screaming agony, right? And felt that he wasn't able to get the health care that he wished he could get, or the attention that he needed, or whatever it is. Because we don't know yet. We really don't know everything about him. And, they're gathering up the pieces. I mean, right now I could tell you that the prosecution has a hell of a case. I mean, they got fingerprints, they got a manifesto, they got a backpack, they got the gun, the ballistics match, they got photos of him, they got, they got just about everything. But maybe Trump will pardon him. I don't know. I mean, he's no Kyle Rittenhouse, thank God. But, Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 people, and he's out there, raising money. He's out there selling merch and, going and doing speeches. So you never know what the, end result is going to be for Luigi Mangione. However, you can see the frustration in our culture. It is just beyond. It is beyond. It's breathtaking. How many people? And vigilantism is not a good thing, okay? It just isn't. What's the movie I'm thinking of? With Charles. It's an old one. It's from the 70s.
Charles Bronson?
Yeah. Charles Bronson.
I can't remember the name of it. That's
my
grandfather's favorite movies.
I know. So there's 2 of them. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. But vigilantism is there will be a movie. I'm guessing about Luigi Mangione. And I'd like to see Charles Bronson play him again. But it's bad.
Mary had a little man.
We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Believe me. Help is on the way.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
One on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on groceries.
When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs.
Where the price of bacon, the price of lettuce, the price of tomatoes. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, everything is so much higher than it ever was.
We're going to bring those prices way down.
Because people can't afford their groceries, and they're going to be affording their groceries very soon.
They're going to be affording their groceries. I use the word grocery. Like, who uses the word grocery? I use the word. And that's how I won. So now they're saying to him, so what is your plan now that you've won? What's your plan to bring down the price of groceries? This is in the Time Magazine Man of the Year interview which I told you yesterday is 50 pages, 50, everybody. Go to the I don't know what kind of a visit that is to the powder room. I'm not really sure like what the situation would be there that you're in there an hour. But get out. And don't forget to spray and put the seat down. There's a lot of protocol here. And it's going to be the little things in life that are going to actually bring us, joy and respect. So practice that. But honestly, it was 50 pages. And in there, they ask him, so what is your plan to bring down the price of groceries, sir? And he's like, I really, I can't. I can't bring down the price. What? No, I can't. Not even the bacon, the lettuce, and the tomato. How about the bread? And a BLT? Could we get it cheap? He goes, it's very hard to get it down. Swear to God, he said this. When it's up. Very hard to get it down when it's up. That's what he said. And also, they asked him about his tariffs, and he said he's into them. He's going to do it. Do you realize how much we import food-wise? Do you understand food-wise that 92% of our seafood is imported? Do you know that? So, like, a shrimp is going to become like a rich man's, salad. You're not going to be able to buy even a previously frozen, and they're all previously frozen because they're coming from Singapore, for God's sake. So we import tomatoes. Because tell me something. Where could you grow a tomato in the United States in the winter? Where? Oh, that's right. One place, Florida. That's it. That's where you can grow a tomato in the winter in the United States. You know how I know that? Because that's what Howard used to lobby for. American tomato farmers. Swear to God. And the whole thing was that only in Florida can you grow a winter tomato. And that was his big entree, okay, into lobbying. But now we import, so many, like most of the vegetables, most of the fruit in this country is imported. And people aren't going to be able to buy. Guacamole is going to become like top shelf tequila. Do you know what I mean? I don't drink tequila, but I know that there's like this Casa something. Do you know what tequila I'm talking about at all, Brett? It's like a big, very expensive tequila. Casa something.
Casamigos?
I don't know. I don't drink tequila.
Yeah.
Is it like more than $100 a bottle?
I think it's very expensive, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be the cost of an avocado now. Because we import all the, and guacamole is going to be like, only for, they're going to go like to the Rainbow Room at the top of the Empire State Building and eat guacamole until their faces cave in because they're rich. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. So the amount of food that we import now, he's talking about doing two things, and I think we've pointed this out before the election. But again, we're preaching to the choir here. We we do have some hate watchers. You're about to find out. You effed around. You're going to find out now that his tariffs are going to make food more expensive, not less expensive. And that Kamala Harris, when we were explaining to you that she had an anti-gouging bill, and also that Lena Khan over at the Federal Trade Commission, which won't exist anymore because President Elon doesn't want it to. And the SEC won't exist anymore because Elon doesn't. You know what they're talking about getting rid of now? Not just the IRS, which I told you yesterday. Elon wants to get rid of the IRS, which is the way we collect revenue to pay our bills. Holy crap. But he also wants to get rid of the FDIC, the insurance that protects us, the banking legislation that actually we've had since Roosevelt, protecting our deposits. Because during the Great Depression, our deposits weren't protected and people were like flinging themselves out of windows and there was no terrorist attack, okay? It was just they lost all their money. Now he wants to get rid of that too. I mean, this is very sick. This is really sick stuff. They want us to become Somalia, a libertarian haven, as they will present it to you, which means no law, none whatsoever, okay? Just like the Wild Wild West. And as far as the global marketplace goes, we will not participate in it, which means that we won't have fruit. We won't have vegetables. And then on top of it, he wants to deport everybody. That's also in there. in that interview. And you don't even need to read that interview for that portion of it because everybody knows he wants to deport everybody, okay? This is part of his culture war that he waged, and he has to deliver on some damn thing, and so he's going to try and deliver on the, mass deportations. You do that. Oh, so what's going to happen in your fantastical fantasy, Mr. Rural America, who thinks that, wait till I tell you what he said about transgendered people. Wait till I tell you. He doesn't care about them. He says there's such a small amount of people in this country who are transgender that he's not going to, do anything or pay any attention to anybody who is trans. It's not his thing. He's not really into. They spent $215 million on that commercial about Kamala Harris. She represents they, them. Donald Trump represents you. And now he's telling us he never really cared about it. And I told you he didn't care about it because it was like 0.2% of our population has an issue with feeling uncomfortable in the gender that they currently are. 0.2% of the people. There's no amount of legislation in the world that's going to help or hurt that. Anyway, he says he doesn't care about it because it is too small. But boy, oh boy, what a ruse! What a 3-card Monte game that was! Holy crap! It's like Grandpa during Passover playing hide the matzah. You don't want to know where he did it, but now he doesn't care about any of these issues. Okay, he doesn't. So he's got to make good on one of them, and he's going to do the mass deportation. We think because Stephen Miller is going to make him do it, and so is Steve Bannon. But do you think that's going to make people move from the cosmopolitan city into the farmlands to help out? Do you think there's going to be this mass migration from the city folk who are now saying, I must go and pick the vegetables in California. I have to go and get the grapes. I have to go and pick the strawberries. Oh, I'm going to move to upstate New York and get the apples. That's what I'm going to do. You really think this is going to happen? And that's going to keep the prices the price of everything under his proposals is going to rocket. It's going to soar. And that's why I'm so obsessed with these drones, okay? Who has a vested interest in making us afraid? Because somebody is making us afraid right now by flying drones the size of SUVs in the sky and not saying who it is. But, the rattling of our system is about to occur. It's just going to be like a snow globe. It's just going to shake it all up. And there are people, burn it down, burn it down. The ones that say that are the ones that are going to get hurt the worst, okay? Now, the only thing I can conclude about the mass deportations is he'll turn it into a business. What do I mean by that? Well, not just the private prison system like Geo Group and Boca Raton. No, but he's going to sell waivers. He's going to sell to big businesses in agriculture, farmland, big ag, the chance to get a waiver so they can keep their immigrants.
All things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
Oh, my God. We had a phone call from a girl. She was a lady friend, wanted to get on the air. And Brett said, yeah. This happens all day, by the way. Brett said, yeah, hang on. That's a great point. Let's talk about it. Her point was that the drone thing, it's Kamala. It's Kamala doing it because Kamala Harris wants us to be afraid, which would make her the most vicious female villain of all time. Like more than Oren Ishii. Oh, I love that name. Oren Ishii. More than Elle Driver, okay? California mountain snake, right? Black Mamba lady, remember her? That would make her so notorious. Holy crap. Can you imagine? Now, I will say, I actually, started Googling because that's what we do during the breaks just to see where are you getting this story from? Like, who's feeding you this swill? Who's feeding you this crap? Who's feeding you this mung? And Kamala Harris actually did have Harris Walls spelled out by drones. Yeah. At one of the events they had I think it was maybe in Pennsylvania. Oh my God. She's Vernita Green. Wow. She should have been the Black Mamba. I mean, wow.
Yeah, we're not telling you what to think.
I'm not telling you.
We're just asking if you'd like to.
I mean, wow. That would be notorious. That would be like the most amazing thing in the history of the world. That oh my God, that Kamala Harris is actually, flying swarm drones over New Jersey.
Yeah, she was charming. I'm not going to say her name. She's from North Carolina.
Oh.
She started the call with, Randy's wasting time.
She's wasting our time.
Where's Kamala? What is her involvement in this drone thing?
Oh, man. She's the bride. All right, Barbara in California.
Yes, Randy, I think it's going to be very, very dangerous for us in this country. And dangerous, what I mean by the way Trump is degrading, devastating our programs, our government, our agencies, our funding is being stolen. A good example of this would be like dry bones. All the intestine, all the heart, all the guts, all the organ is just drawn out. And secondly, I don't believe we're going to have another election. I think he is going to change the whole system. And I am wondering, once it's already gone, how do we get it back? Because I look at the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians is an example of look what they're going through.
Well, they were militarily invaded. Do you think we're going to get invaded by what? Canada, Mexico? Like he's going to actually deploy the military against his own people? Do you think that?
No, I think I use Ukraine because at one point they were a democracy.
Yes, and then they got invaded by Russia.
Exactly.
So I'm asking you, do you think that Donald Trump is going to use military force against Americans?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. Because the reason why I say that is because of the fact that we have individuals in Congress in Washington, D.C., that's not fighting against him, but that's fighting for him.
Yeah, we do.
So the foundation is being broken. The support is being weakened. And they're allowing him.
So here's what you need to focus on, okay, concentrate on. They have a 1-seat majority in the House of Representatives, the Republicans do, a 1-seat majority. Now, what does that give them? That gives them the committee chairmanships, okay, but it doesn't give them legislation, okay? They can't take apart Medicare, Medicaid. They can't take apart Social Security. Well, they can take Medicaid apart, but they can't take Social Security apart. Most of the things that we're talking about here are things that Congress would have to go along with. They have a 1-seat majority in the House. In the Senate, he's got a 3-seat majority. So when you talk about confirming all these nudniks, all these, incompetent freaks of nature that he's putting forward, okay, and he put them forward real early so we would have a nice long look-see at the incompetence and the lack of character and the drinking and the womanizing, the adultery and all that. Very early, a lot of time here to actually get to know how bad these people are. He only has a 3-seat majority in the Senate, right? So he can't lose 3 votes. That's it. If he loses more than 3 votes, none of this actually moves forward. You got to focus on that.
You're absolutely right, and I truly appreciate this, but my focus is look what happened to our post office. Look who got into the highest position of the post office, and now we can't even get rid of him. We know he's degrading the postal services. We know he destroyed machines. We know he's slowing down the mail. We know he's supporting Trump. He's still in office today.
Well, that's not a congressional thing. That's the board that removes him. Or why are you focused on Louis DeJoy? I mean, as a kind of a, I don't know, evidence that Donald Trump is going to take apart our country.
Okay, I focus on Louis DeJoy because sometimes it takes a little ant to make it a big spider.
But I'm not thrilled with him either. I mean, the cost to send a letter now is, like ridiculous. What is it, like 89 cents or some crazy amount of money? But it works.
I paid $1.07 last week.
Yeah. I tried to send somebody, I think it was a T-shirt or something. Oh, no, somebody sent me something and asked me if I wasn't going to, read it, to send it back to them, okay? And so I sent it back to them because it was, something I could not possibly, make sense of. It cost me $14 to send something back to somebody. So, yes, it's expensive, but it's not broken as far as the mail comes. I get everything through the mail. The last mile for all of our Amazon packages that will fit in the mail is mostly the Postal Service. I mean, it's not a horrible thing.
Okay, that's absolutely right and correct. The thing that bothers me is
I think that you really want to preemptively panic over the loss of democracy, and there's no need to do that. It will happen in its own time. It will start to degrade the amount of, attacks on people who do what I do for a living, the amount of attacks on, some of the licenses that are, out there for, TV stations, radio stations, etc. They might be threatened a little bit or a lot. I mean, we have to wait and see. But the idea that, there's nothing we can do and we won't have another election. We're going to have another election in 2026, okay? And like I said, okay, he's got a 1-seat majority in the House. I think that could be defeated. I think we can turn that around real easy, okay? And then the 3 seats, and he's got 3 seats in the Senate. I think we could turn that around too. You do that, and that's how you preserve democracy. And then he's a lame duck, basically, and he's got no place to go to do whatever. Whatever he wants to do, he can't do. Now, he's going to use some strange stuff like you're going to start to hear about the Impoundment Act. There's a lot of things. Comstock Act, things that need to be repealed. We could repeal those too, but not till 2026.
Call in, connect. To speak to Randy, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
All right. I think you heard me. I said this is it, because this is it. This is the last time I will ask for your support, for your help to keep independent media, free speech TV up and running throughout this next very trying time. The 47. Okay, the 47. I don't even think I'm going to call him by his name. I think I'll just refer to him as 47 because, saying it over and over again is just, it's a nightmare. It's a bad dream. And I would like to wake from it as much as Barbara does. However, we have to, get through it. And that is what we'll do here together. That is the work that we will do. Okay, 877-378-8669. That's the number you call if you want to support this kind of work. What does Kamala say? Hard work is good work. Hard work is good work. Do the hard work. Do the good work. 877-378-8669. Today is a double match day. Last day of the Free Speech TV Winter Pledge Drive ends big, huge, bigger than both of us, baby. It's got 2 frontline funders waiting to match whatever you donate today. So if you said, I feel like I really need to do this, I feel comfortable with a $100 donation, I'm doing it today. That would be $300 because 2 of our frontline funders who are all across the United States, in every single state you could, actually reference, we can find you a frontline funder who will match your donation dollar for dollar up to 10 grand. Okay. And then we'll find you another one. So 2 people will match everything you do and make it go twice as far. So 877-378-8669 or freespeech.org or text to 44321 the letters FSTV, and we will send you a nice secure link and you can make your donation that way. All of these ways will get your donation matched by 2 frontline funders. Thank you so much. This is the end of my ask for the Winter Free Speech TV Pledge Drive. Yay. I was going to play applause, but we don't need it. I think everybody's going, oh, God, we made it through another one. Yeah. We did. All right, Mark in Illinois.
Yeah, hi, Randy.
Hi.
It's been a long time. Last time I spoke to you, Trump had just become president.
Oh, God.
I'm the one that told you about. We were talking about his malignant narcissism, and he reminded me of the killer Betty Broderick. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. Yeah.
What I wanted, and I've got 2 movie recommendations for you, so don't let me forget.
Okay.
First of all, the lady that called about the post office, DeJoy is in there.
Yeah.
But the pensions have been funded 75 years in advance.
That's right.
And I'm wondering if he can't get his greedy hands on that money.
Well, he hasn't. Okay, so I'm going to say no. he's
been
there. How long has he been there? He's been there a long, long time,
Yeah.
like 9 years at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other piles of money are when Medicaid was expanded into the states and then the Supreme Court knocked that down. That money for the states that have not accepted it yet is still there. Can he get his hands on that?
Who is he? Trump?
Trump.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, this is where they're going to go. They're going to go first for Medicaid, which is, for the poorest and the most disabled. It's for children, for God's sake. They're going to go after the children's health insurance program, too. This is why I'm saying to you that the South, the people in the rural counties, they effed around. They're about to find out just what the worst case scenario looks like, feels like, sounds like, smells like. I mean, he's going to go after the poorest Americans. He's definitely doing that.
But, I mean, it's been years for some of these states that have not accepted that money, and there's got to be billions, tens of maybe hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah, like Florida. Okay, Florida's a really good example. Florida accepted the expansion during COVID, and now Ron Death Sentence is saying, no, I'm throwing, a couple million people off of Medicaid. I don't give a damn. And he did. He sent the money back to the feds. So it's sitting there as a tranche of money, as I like to say, and they're going to steal. In chaos, they can steal. How many years have I been saying that? And people don't get it until they experience the chaos and they go, oh, now I see. Yeah, and he's also, yesterday there was a very important story that I think went over a lot of heads. I don't know how many people actually banked it in their brain, but you need to. And that is that during his first term, he used, friendly lawyers inside the Department of Justice to actually, spy on and get email at, contacts and text messages from Congress members and their staff. And this is, you're wondering, like, what kind of hold does he have on Lindsey Graham? Well, maybe he's got, a picture of Lindsey Graham with a live boy or a dead goat. I don't know. But he's done this to so many of them. And rather than, be humiliated in public, they're just going to acquiesce. And so there is a lot of stealing that's about to go on.
Well, listen, let me give you 2 quick movie recommendations. I hope you haven't seen the films yet, but if you have, they're worth a second one. One dovetails really well with Network. I know you love Network.
I love Network.
It's called The Mad Woman of Shiloh.
All right.
1969, Katharine Hepburn.
Oof.
It's try to get a good restored copy of it, but it's a really good movie. Everything that you like to talk about.
Yeah.
And
I love Katharine Hepburn. I mean, there's just so many.
Yul Brynner's in it.
Oh my God.
Paul Henry.
11% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's really good. If you haven't seen it.
11% on
11%.
The Mad Woman of Shiloh. CHAILLOT.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's the Shiloh district of Paris.
Gotcha.
Where it takes place in Paris.
All right.
And I think you'll enjoy it. It dovetails very well. There's a brilliant performance by Danny Kaye toward the end of the film. The cast is fabulous.
Yeah, it sounds like a great cast.
And the other film is, have you ever seen The Loved One?
No.
About funeral rites in the United States of America?
No.
See The Loved One. And the performance by Rod Steiger as Mr. Joy Boy and his mother. Most hilarious thing, bizarrely hilarious I've ever seen in movies. Rod Steiger, Anjanette Comer, Robert Morse, fabulous.
Robert Morse, oh my God. He was like a Broadway star when I was a little kid because, my mom.
Everything you wanted how to succeed in business
without really trying. Yeah, my mom used to take me to Broadway. We'd do the matinee on Saturday. She'd haul us all into Manhattan and make us, go to the theater. I remember seeing him in that. I mean, geez.
And he plays a British young man, and he goes to visit his uncle, who
You
played
know,
by,
when an American plays a Brit, it's very hard for me to take. It's
he's
very
wonderful in it, and his uncle is John Gielgud. And that's
I
another one
love
together.
Sir John.
So
You know,
anyway,
Sir
listen,
John
I'm keeping-
Gielgud, that's from Arthur. He played
the butler.
Arthur's butler. I love those movies. Oh, I love those movies. If you would remove your hat, I could. Oh, I love those movies. Yeah, but these are blasts from the past. These are like my mom's movies, right? But this is where I got my love for movies, is from that era. My mom, I don't think my mom ever showed me a movie in color until Mommy Dearest. Yeah, everything I know is black and white.
This is the Randi Rhodes Show. To speak with Randi, dial 561-270-3844. That's 561-270-3844.
Groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries.
In his interview with Time, the president-elect backed off his central campaign promise to lower prices for consumers, including on groceries, saying, look, they got them up. I'd like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. You know, it's very hard, but I think that they will. I think that energy is going to bring them down. I think a better supply chain is going to bring them down. Throughout the campaign, Trump repeatedly vowed lower prices.
But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast, not only with insurance, with everything.
It'll also bring your grocery bill way down.
Trump also detailing a move he plans to make in his first hours in office, pardoning defendants from the January 6th Capitol riots. Asked if that would include those who committed violent acts, Trump saying he'll look at each case, adding, it's going to start in the first hour that I get into office, and a vast majority of them should not be in jail.
Oh, my God. So he's going to empty our prisons, which is something that he says banana republics do, and he's going to do that. There's no question. He did it in Afghanistan, too. I don't know if you remember the Doha Agreement, where he actually negotiated with the terrorists. He negotiated with the Taliban, and they wanted 5,000 of their prisoners who were, incarcerated by us to be released, and he did that, and left 2,500 soldiers on the ground in Afghanistan, handed it off to Biden and said, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Uh-huh. So, yes, he's going to empty our prisons. Yes, he's going to fill them up with, people that he thinks are not citizens. And by thinks, I mean he's just going to invent this, aversion, this opposition to birthright citizenship, which means if you were born on American soil, you are a citizen, even if your parents aren't. Even if your parents aren't. We're not the only country. I think there's 30 other countries that have that. But he's going to say, I take issue with it. And he's going to try and round people up. Now, that is going to be frightening. That is going to be the chaos in which he will steal. Okay? I just want you to understand there's a reason for the mass deportation. It has absolutely nothing to do with bringing down prices. In fact, it will have the opposite effect. It will raise prices. It's not going to be able to be self-corrected, meaning people are not going to move from the city to the, Badlands to pick cotton. Okay? That's not going to happen. People aren't going to move to Midland, Texas to pick watermelons. Okay? That's not going to happen. People aren't going to leave Manhattan and move to upstate New York to harvest the apple. That's why apples are top of mind, because, he hangs out in, the hinterlands in New Jersey where they have orchards and stuff. I mean, he's such a space cadet. He's such a self-serving load, and that's what we have to deal with, right? Look, I will say this. I'm going to count once again on his own incompetence and the incompetence of the people that he is trying to anoint as being the heads of various agencies. I doubt very much that you're going to see a Secretary of Defense, Hegseth. I doubt very much you're going to see a Attorney General. You may see Pam Bondi. She's disgusting enough, okay? She owns 4 million shares of Trump Media. It's like they're so conflicted, these people. But okay, maybe she gets through, but there's no way Kash Patel becomes the director of the FBI. I mean, watching Chris Wray, I mean, look, Donald Trump wanted a spineless ferret for a FBI director, and Chris Wray fits that bill because it's called anticipatory compliance. And ahead of giving Trump a hard time, which is what he could have stayed to do because he's got a 10-year term and it's not over until 2026. He could have stayed and been a thorn in his side. He could have stayed and make Trump fight him. And, he could have stayed. Trump could have fired him. He could have, made a big stink about whatever. But no. He went quietly into that good night, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to fight. You're supposed to fight. And he didn't because Donald Trump likes spineless little ferrets, weasels. And Chris Wray was one of those. Okay. On the other side of what Trump likes, there's Kash Patel. What's Kash Patel? Kash Patel is obviously blackmailable. This is the point of telling you that they spied on staffers in Congress. They spied on Devin Nunes, and they spied on Kash Patel, who was a Devin Nunes staffer. That's what Devin Nunes, that's what Kash Patel is. That's where he comes from. Devin Nunes' office. So Devin Nunes got put in charge of Trump Social, or whatever that thing is, Truth Social. And Kash Patel is now being floated for the Attorney General of the United States. I mean, oh my God, you can't make this up. Why? Because they're blackmailable. That's why. Got dirt, and Trump has it. Now, these drones, that's kind of, they could, I don't know what their function is. I don't know why they're there. But if they can vacuum up, suck up information, every guy in Jersey is now, a Trump loyalist. That's all I can say. You were born with a blue moon in your eye. Your mom always said you'd be the chosen one. Yeah, well, you were born under a bad sign. Got a blue moon in your eye. Yeah, world turned upside down. I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. I honestly don't know with the drones. Not really clear. But I'm very clear that Donald Trump is going to, try to create a very chaotic environment in which to distract you, just like they ran $215 million worth of ads making you think the most pressing issue in your life was transgendered people playing on the wrong sports team. That was your problem. That was an issue. And it's not. And he says that. And not only does he say this in the Time magazine interview, he didn't just distance himself from the conservative culture war issue of transgendered people using certain bathrooms. He said he didn't believe that transgender people using the bathroom corresponding with their gender identity was an issue. He said other Republicans had made it an issue. They spent $215 million on network TV ads that painted transgender people as a threat. This is according to a Washington Post analysis of the data compiled by Ad Impact. And of course, I believe my own eyes. I saw that commercial every 5 seconds because I watch news. So you're exposed. Like a lot of our kids are, they're totally, they cut the cord. They don't see commercials anymore. But we do because we watch news, right? And everybody saw, and he said, this is his quote, I don't want to get into the bathroom issue because it's a very small number of people we're talking about, and it's ripped apart our country. So they'll just have to settle for whatever the law is. And then he said that he sides with the incoming Sarah McBride, who is a newly elected congressperson from Delaware, and she is the first transgendered member of Congress. He said that Nancy Mace, you remember Nancy Mace made a big freaking deal out of it, and she wanted to pass legislation that would bar her from using the women's restroom in the Capitol, even though Sarah McBride uses the non-gendered, non-discriminatory bathroom, and she always has because she's a legislator from Delaware, and there's always been a non-gender specific bathroom. We have them here too, non-gender specific bathrooms. And she does that at the Capitol, so it was a made-up issue. But he actually backstabs Nancy Mace in Time magazine. He said that he agrees with incoming Congressman Sarah McBride, who is transgender, and that there are more important issues for Representative Nancy Mace, the Republican from South Carolina, to focus on. He said the issue barring the Democrat from using the women's restroom in the Capitol is not a thing. It's not important. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's after $215 million was spent telling you it's an issue, telling you it is. And also, he told you that he didn't know anybody on Project 2025. He's never read it. He doesn't know what it is. He does, he hired like hundreds of them to populate his administration. So, listen, he's a liar. We know that. And we also know he's a fraud. But more importantly, he's a thief. He's a thief. So get ready. You know what I mean? Just protect what's yours. Know that he's eyeing it. And understand that he's got a one-seat majority in the House. We're going to actually be able to make something out of that favors us. One seat away from defeating every single piece of legislation he proposes. One vote. One. It's important. 3 in the Senate, but 1 in the House. And you need both to get to his desk. A lot of stuff is not going to happen, but a lot of stuff is. Have a good weekend.